So we just had a whole conversation about the college football playoff Final Four and who is on the outside looking in and whether it's fair to Texas or Alabama or Ohio State or Florida State and all of that business. Flash forward to next year, this ain't the conversation. Completely different conversation. So I believe Ross Dellinger of Yahoo put together what the college football playoff committee's current standings would look like in next year's format. Mm-hmm. And we have it on our screen right now. There it is, where Texas would host Penn State. The winner then plays Michigan.
Like an SEC quadrant.
Correct. And then there's Ohio State hosts Ole Miss. Winner plays Washington. Alabama plays Missouri. Winner plays Georgia. In the Peach Bowl. My goodness gracious. Oregon hosts Tulane. And the winner goes and plays Florida State in the Orange Bowl.
Fun.
And my question is which one do you like better? The one like this where we're having controversy and talking about who's in, who's out, who deserves or not, or doesn't matter, let's just play it out. And the controversy is who's Tulane keeping out at 12. What do you got for me on that? What do you think?
As a football fan, on the surface, I like what you just showed, Ross's breakdown of what it would be like for 12. The part that I don't love about this is, so we just had a super intense Saturday of Michigan and Ohio State.
And by the way, the rest of the day, Apple Cup, Iron Bowl, Farmageddon, which I know wasn't for a spot, but in the Snowmageddon and Farmageddon.
Wild 4 minutes of that, whatever happened at the end of that game with, you intercepted. No, you intercepted. But I thought Michigan, Ohio State, if it's a rematch the next week.
In the Big Ten championship game.
Championship game, because now there are no divisions next year. Does that diffuse does it make some of the other games less meaningful?
Hell yeah, it does. And certainly, what if they face each other for a third time in the college football playoff?
Yeah, then it feels like college basketball, right?
Or, professional football where, Titans Ravens used to play 3 times in a year, right? But they played 1 time in the playoffs as well. I don't know. I'm back and forth on it. I look at that and I'm like, hell yeah, do I want to see Ole Miss and like Lane Kiffin in the horseshoe? Texas and Penn State is a fascinating one.
I think the matchups are really compelling. I just think there's going to be the awkwardness of the double play, right? Because I remember this coming up with Bedlam at one point before Oklahoma, Oklahoma and Texas were going to bail from the Big 12. About what happens when the teams that are normally at the end of the year, now all of a sudden you strip away divisions so they can have a rematch. I think, it's fine with Texas and OU in this case. It would have been if OU was in the Big 12 title game, because that game happens early. Red River is like basically in the middle of the season.
Yes,
it's when it's like, hey, we're going to play we just got to beat these guys. Now you got to beat them again another week from now. That's the part that I think is like. And it's not going to always happen in this setup, but there are a few of these scenarios which I think are going to be a little tough to wrap your head around.
How about this wild idea? How about we get rid of conference title games?
It's a lot of money people are.
I get it. I hear you. I understand it.
I work for one of those companies.
Hey, I understand that. And Chris and I we were joking about it earlier with TJ also. Like, remember the time when you used to say, "Oh, these college kids, we can't do this. They're college kids. They can't play 16 games in a year. That's professional football." Well, 12 regular season games, 1 conference championship game. The loser then winds up not getting the bye, has to play 3 games to win it all. That's 16.
Well, that's a lot of wear and tear on college athletes, right? And there's no doubt about it.
Academically, too, right? Because they're going to have to find time to actually study, right?
Well, a lot of classes are online or whatever. Yeah, there's that, too. But I think it's just... Physically, the injury risk and everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure at some point you'll see somebody who will be like, all right, I'm good. That's it or whatever. I'm not 100% right now. I'm not going to risk it, even if especially if it's a team that's like a 9 seed or whatever. I mean, I think at some point somebody will say that.
For professional football aspirations is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think that will happen. I mean, I don't think it'll be across the board.
Wow, and if Christian McCaffrey got grabbed for sitting out a Sun Bowl in El Paso, can you imagine what red flags would be raised at the professional level of somebody that sits out as a 9 seed in the
really
college
good?
football playoff
Is he
game?
really good? Because the red flags end up going away if you're really, really, really good.
Exactly. I know. I'm just saying, narratives
I
conversation.
think for me, I'm wondering how many years are we going to get where the best team doesn't win the national championship? Because with the BCS and even this Final Four, you get the sense that the best team always won.
Can I bring this up?
By the way,
'Cause
that's a Patriot fan that got beaten by
yeah,
Eli
that's
Manning
where I was
right
going to
there.
go, though. Like,
Who's
right?
the best team? The team that wins it all.
It's a tournament, right? In the
Yeah.
NFL, right?
But nobody thinks the Giants were the best team. that
There
year.
you go.
So
There you go.
I don't know. Even look at college basketball. It's a random. It's a crapshoot.
I would-
Connecticut was not the best team in the country last year. I'm sorry. They
But
ended
they
up
just
winning the
dominated
championship,
everybody. Like, I have no dog in that fight at all. But, like, they just smashed everybody. I remember, like, Hurley afterwards was like, oh, he seemed to be really matter of fact, like, oh, yeah, we knew we were going to kick the crap out of everybody kind of thing. Like, that's how it felt.
Yeah.
This feels a little more like, sometimes in baseball, it feels like it's the hottest team that goes through.
Right.
That's true.
College football, I feel like, is the most tilted towards that not happening. I could see it where it's not the best team ends up winning it. I'd be really shocked if a number 12 or 11 seed ends up winning it all.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.